Now give everybody this time. Okay. Let me get it. I don't like it.
Oh, she, this, that. Yes.
Yeah. I might have my daughter.
Thank you, sir.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't think. Oh.
Pretty bad. That person.
You gotta go get service. Yeah, you got those 4 minutes coat, sir.
You got my. Oh, man.
I got a reading glass with this.
Yeah. No, you got. Got all the parks up, started, got all the parks up. All the clean park, every park. You know how I got that baby? I can't read. What about the recreation improvement at Martin Luther King? You know what? I have seen you not drive.
Is he okay?
But no stop. Out my yard, but you know, last time you saw. I seen you last week. Yeah, I seen you about last week.
Barely.
Maybe you went down to the sun. Well, you got, right, man, I was saying. Oh, and then, Smitty and, Smitty and see. They use. Just did it.
Well, I got
Great.
I'm moving fast. Take it 2 days.
You know, it goes too slow, I guess.
Oh, okay.
The Chicago Common Council meeting will now come to order on Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. And please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic against one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Clerk Medina, roll call, please. First District Councilwoman Monica Gonzalez.
Here.
Third District Councilman Terrence Hill.
Here.
Fourth District Councilwoman Stacy Winfield.
Present.
Fifth District Councilman Robert Garcia.
Present.
Sixth District Councilwoman Gilda Oren. Councilman at Large Dwayne Ransford.
Present.
Councilwoman at Large Vanessa Hernandez Oren.
Present.
Councilman at Large Kenneth Monroe.
Yeah.
Council President Lenny Francis.
Present.
Can I have a motion to accept the minutes for the regular meeting on July 8th, 2026? Motion was made by Councilman Hill, seconded by Councilwoman Winfield. Have any questions on the motion? Roll call, please. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Winfield.
Yeah.
Garcia.
Thanks.
Orange.
Yes.
Francis.
Yeah.
Hernandez Oren.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco. Yes. Do you have any communication from the mayor? We had a request to remove ordinance 26-0014. We also received a copy of a proposed resolution that's going to be entertained by the Board of Public Works tomorrow in regards to returning $35,000 to BP Amoco that was initially given to us as a sponsorship. Thank you. Do I have any communications from department heads? We have accounts payable warrants 070226CC, 071026CC, 071426CC, 072226CC, and 072226LA. Motion was made by Councilman Monroe, seconded by Councilwoman Winfield to accept the accounts payable warrants. Do I have any questions on the motion? Clerk Medina, roll call, please. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Winfield.
Yeah.
Garcia.
No.
Oren. Ransford.
Yes.
Hernandez Oren.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Payroll warrant biweekly 071726.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilman Monroe to accept the payroll warrants. Do I have any questions on the motion? Roll call, please. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Winfield.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Ransford.
Yes.
Hernandez Oren.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Do I have any committee reports?
Yes.
Councilman Monroe.
Superintendent can speak.
Good evening, City Council.
Good evening.
Thank you again for the opportunity to come and address the council with important things happening at the school cities of Chicago. I will leave this document with you at conclusion. I want to actually acknowledge a really great 2025-2026 school year. This past school year, we have a projected graduation rate of over 90%. This will be the second year in a row where we have hit 90% graduation rate. hats off to all of our hardworking high school administration, teachers, and counselors, and social workers who help us to achieve that. Last year, we actually, as part of our career pathway strategic planning goal, we increased the number of students earning industry credentials of value from 24-25 school year to 123, over 170% increase. That is work to as well to our CTE teachers, our high school administration, staff, and counselors, as well as our CTE. We hope to build on that same momentum. And what we're most proud of is that the School City of East Chicago was recognized by Stanford University, as well as Harvard University, in their annual publication that analyzes school district performance nationwide. It is called the Education Scorecard. We were listed as one of 100 school districts in the nation who are accelerating reading and math proficiency since COVID. And that is kudos to all of our teachers, our family, our students who've been working hard to recover from COVID. This past summer, we did complete work on all of our elementary buildings, playgrounds. So we have 5 new playgrounds installed, 2 at Lincoln and 1 at each McKinley, Harrison, and Washington. These are new, brightly colored playgrounds that are attractive, that our kids are going to be able to enjoy during recess. We also, as part of our downsizing from Kerry Gosh Early Learning Center, we were able to renovate all of our pre-K bathrooms. So all of our students who are 3 and 4-year-olds coming to our elementary buildings will have freshly painted and renovated bathrooms as well. But what we're most excited about is the replacement of 8 of our air handlers at Central High School. These 8 air handlers, part of our HVAC upgrade phase 1, is going to allow our students and staff to teach and learn in much more comfortable environments for this upcoming school year. We're excited about that progress, and we're looking forward to completing that as part of phase 2. New for this school year, as everyone is aware, Indiana passed a new state law regarding cell phone use from bell to bell. So our students will not be able to access their cell phones from the beginning of the school day to the end of the school day. We're putting out lots of messaging and media information about that for our families, lots of training for our students and staff as they transition to that new rule. As most of you are aware, adults are attached to their cellular device. So now we're able to wholly focus on learning and maximize even more returns on our student achievement. And then finally, as part of increasing our safety for our students as well as our staff, we are moving to clear backpacks for this school year. We will be giving out clear backpacks at our upcoming back to school rally on August 1st at Todd Park from 12 to 4 while supplies last. We thank in advance all of our generous community partners who have donated those backpacks in the years past as they've done this year. But we will also have backpacks available at the school as well as giving them out on August 1st. Finally, I just want to invite our school, our city council members to our opening convocation, which is August 5th. It will be held at Lott Stadium. We will start at 8 o'clock. We would love to have all of our city officials there to help bring in the new school year. And as we have done in years past, we also want to invite you to come and be bell ringers on the first day of school, August 10th. And I'll hang around to after the council meetings to get signed. Very based on the school in your district, or if you just want to go to another school. We look forward to work with.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You mentioned about the Kerry Gosh Learning Center. I know you posted that. What's going on with that?
Yes. So right now, the plans for Kerry Gosh Early Learning Center is for it to be still house some of our administrative offices. As you're aware, we are closing the admin building. So a number of our staff, our administrative offices, superintendent office, sort of temporarily housed at the Kerry Gosh Early Learning Center. But we've also invited some of our partners who already exist in that early learning center, who are community partners, HealthLink. They will still stay in there because that's where they work. As well, we're looking forward to having the Boys and Girls Club new tennis center.
Just one more. Okay. With cell phones, how are you all gonna effectively put that operation to work?
So we've been working hard since the beginning of the school year, working with our deans and some of our teachers union administration, trying to put very reasonable systems in place to support this transition. Now, we know we're dealing with our teenagers who, like I said, are glued to their phone. The first, I believe we have at least 1 or 2 is going to be warnings. Hey, that's supposed to be on your phone. And then when it gets to level 3, they are going to be confiscated. Parents have to come and get the phone and sent. But we have a range of consequences before we get to that. Before kids are banned from having their phone on school property. And so those are a number of things we'll be working with our ECPD as well to support those. But we're hoping that this first year, we're going to give people lots of grace before we hit the ECPD consequence. Thanks.
Councilman Garcia,
I'll just bring them up under new business. So we go on.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on, do we have any board reports?
Yes.
Yeah, no. One announcement. This last time I was here, about 2 months ago, I was so excited talking about all the money that proposed to Martin King Center. At that time, it was like 640,000 for renovation of Martin King Center. Not only that, I know Councilman Hill, myself, and all over the community, all over the churches, let them know that city administration is finally going to do something at King Center. Yesterday, at the redevelopment meeting, yesterday, you can see in front of you, give everybody a copy. You look at it, 2020 Community Development Block Grant, COVID funds. Again, that was back in 2020. I know the money, anytime you have COVID funds, can be spent within 6 years. So that money can be spent by the end of the year. What happened yesterday, look at it. Redevelopment took 575,000 from Arcade 7 to the different parts. And that means the parks have $915,456 for improvement. Once again, they took money from Canaan to do other things. And at that time, you know, when I came here at that time, we approved the money. So I asked, consultant, I say, now, give me some clarification. How much money for Martin King Center? He said $0. $0. We finished. And I asked why. He said, well, they're gonna cost about $2 million to renovate the King Center. So I asked, I said, well, 2 months ago, 640,000. Now, 2 months later, it's 2 million. I mean, price rise up that quick. From 640 to 2 million. That's very suspect. Another thing suspect, and then at that particular time, I say now the community is going to be highly, highly upset with this. The commissioner made a statement saying that the residents should be here. I made a statement of this. How can the resident be here when the board member don't even about to meet? Anytime you have a public hearing, y'all know, it has to be posted at least 10 days, minimum. In any public hearing, can be posted in these 10 days. I get my package Friday. In the package, got nothing about a public hearing. No agenda. Come to the meeting Tuesday, it's a public hearing. That's very suspect. Public hearing the day, while the 10 days notice. They took everybody to the paper, we want to notify. So I just want to bring that to your attention. I was really frustrated, some other things happened, but leave that alone. But still, the Calumet community is upset again because what happened, we got slapped in the face again. And just like, you know, I put it like this. The mayor is firefighter. And you know, firefighters, what they do? They put out fires. Right now, It's gonna be a big wildfire.
Excuse me, Commissioner, can we just attend to the
Okay.
meeting, 2
Okay.
minutes, and that's, I'll be your personal,
Okay.
you know, that's just here for your
Okay.
report.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, I know you're correct about sending the notice off of the planning department, they're good with that. They send me a notice, anytime something goes on, they send me a notice, and it's up to me to decide if I want to attend. So why don't you get it, I didn't get a notice, it's my district. I didn't get a notice, so I'm a little upset with it. So I think we're gonna continue to try to see what we can do to work on this Martin Luther King Center. And we need to bring Frank, Troy, can we have Frank, Revere come here, next meeting, please? To explain with us thoroughly about what happened.
We will request his presence.
Request is president, thank you, so appreciate that. All right, Mr. Arledar.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Moving on. Moving on.
Thank you.
Do you have any other board reports?
That's what you gave us. And you-
Yes. Yes.
And this is, done by them.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's a copy.
Thank you. Have any ordinance on first reading?
We have two. First ordinance on first reading, ordinance 26-0013, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. An ordinance authorizing purchasing agents, the city of East Chicago, to make advance payments, contracts for public works projects, goods and services.
Second,
Motion was made by Councilwoman Orange, seconded by Councilwoman Hernandez Orange. Your ordinance 26-0013. That first or second reading, Councilwoman? First, on first reading. Have any questions on the motion? Councilman Garcia?
Can you explain the ordinance, South Building City Controller? We brought this up before. I think there's, the history of this ordinance is, the state has come maybe about 15 years ago, where it allowed for advance payment. It was very specific, things like for utilities and bonds and like that. And I think it was about, the original one, there's only 13 things. Later on, the state amended it to allow you where a council can amend it. But it was very specific. The last time our council did anything was, I think, in 16, where they allowed for advance payments for death benefits for police and fire. Since then, when COVID came about, the state passed another amendment to the code where you could do advance payments for public works projects, where you could save money because of COVID and because of the tariffs, prices are going up. And if you could, in these large projects like public work projects, you buy the material in advance, save quite a bit of money. So the state allowed, there were conditions. And if you look at the ordinance, that kind of follows the code conditions they put into it. Like for instance, the council has I think right now, when we tried to pass it the first time, we have major projects going. Like, we have Google one out, and that was the most. That's why I feel we did the greatest benefit. When you could buy a lot of the piping and everything in advance, you could save substantial amounts. I think, I don't know, I know there's been some concern about they would use it for other things. Last time when I came, I heard about from the concerns, and I was thinking of ways how they could address it. And I think I mentioned some of the councilmen, you still have the final say. You can pull claims like you can now. If you see any claims that for advance payment, you can pull those, and you can have the utility department people, heads or whatever, come and explain why they want this advance payment. And there are conditions, if you look at the ordinance, what you have to follow. There's this controller's office, for instance, has to prepare a form which explains everything, and that would be attached to the claim also. So, I don't know if you want me to go into detail with the entire,
No,
ordinance,
for me,
but if you have any questions, I know it was handed out several.
and I just don't feel comfortable with some of the advance payment. If someone give you a quote on a job and they start the job, they should do the job for what they told us they don't do that job. Yeah, I understand, advance payment on death benefits and stuff like that, I got. But given some of these contractors advance payment and they haven't did the job and you don't know if they did the job correctly, or we're gonna have to take them to court, you know,
Pretty quick,
so.
but you'll, it's not for, like, your salaries or anything like that. And just for example, the amount of cities and towns, I checked the state board of accounts, you see for the audit, it's almost like 90 something. Even in our county, you can check it this morning, they passed it, and except they put in, you can modify these ordinance, you can put more protection. I don't know, if you might have to have time with your attorneys, you talk with our corporate counsel, can you have a separate warrant for advance payments, so it's easier to find it? You know, that's something we'll have to discuss with our corporate counsel.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman Hernandez Orange.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure that, one, I would like to see this go into a committee where we could have some, our finance team make a statement or kind of give the threshold of what is necessary for what payment we can do. I've been familiar with stuff like this. One, it does cost a lot of money when there's material on the table and then you end up waiting longer and then that goes up. Hence the projects when it comes to the pool and the splash pad. If we would have purchased it ahead of time, we probably would not be paying as much. I also know being on the school side, we actually had to pass something like this in regards to allowing or purchasing items previously, but we ended up putting the threshold down to what we felt was necessary to make sure we have oversight. So my suggestion is that we put this into committee, have a conversation of what we would like to see. If there is warrants that we want to pull out, we should definitely be able to do that, as well as how is it gonna look like when it comes before us on the claims. So if we pass it on the first reading and make sure we end up being for committee and then forward.
Councilman Ratzer.
Actually, just echo what Councilman Warren said in terms of putting before the committee. In addition to that, I know you stated that prior to, although you make the recommendation that an advance payment is, you're asking for an event, it still has to come before the council for approval.
That's in the code. It has, the only one that can pass it is the council. You can, in fact, even in the code, it says you could, that the code is separate, you can take sections out of your ordinance. It doesn't have to. You get customized to, and put more safeguards if you feel that, they're required. And you have to remember, because it's advance payment, the claim will come in way in advance. So you have plenty of time to look at it, call the department head and say, what's this about, why are we doing it?
We'll get that cooperation of the department here.
I hope so.
Promising.
Councilman Hill.
Yeah, just something, it sounds good if we're gonna be saving money. However, once you make these contracts in advance, and some have to that company where they can't finish the job what they're supposed to do. Now, how are we gonna get that money? Just like we paid this last year, a couple of years ago, we paid this entertainment, the heating reform. So what's up with that then?
Well, that's, we actually, there's a police report made out. The problem with that is right now is that these educators aren't local. So to try to charge them and catch them, they're in a different state the next day.
Contract won't.
No, most of the contracts for these big projects are local. They're big, like Cassie, big project. They're not
Yeah, just
small.
comparing them. Long term, still, it's supposed to be paid, that's.
No, and there's a lot of terms in the contract too, for not performance.
Thank you.
Terms.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
I would like some feedback from Attorney Jones on this.
Senate committee, I'm happy to open this.
Yeah, and like I said, you can check with other cities and towns, they've passed it already, they've been taking it. They put say person.
Councilwoman Hernandez on.
Can we just put this into committee once we have feedback from the council and then as well as, we have our finance? I like the motions to make.
Planning board, we have it on.
Secondary motion.
Secondary motion.
Yeah.
To place this ordinance into committee.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Hernandez Orange, seconded by Councilman Garcia. Put ordinance 26-0013 in committee. Roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Francis,
Yes.
Hernandez Orange,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Franceschi,
Yes.
I'll begin with Val and Attorney Jones for the availability.
No, well, thank you.
Okay.
I was open to discussion.
So it'll be up to you, Robert, to finance chair.
Thank you.
Next ordinance up first reading, ordinance number 26-0014 has been removed. Ordinance 26-0015, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland, an ordinance establishing a rental inspection and certification program, defining minimum habitability standards, establishing inspection authority, fees, penalties, and creating a city inspection fund.
So moved. Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Orange, seconded by Councilwoman Hernandez Orange. To hear ordinance 26-0015 on first reading. Any questions on the motion? Councilwoman Orange.
I still really opposed to this. And you may say, well, why did you bring it up? But I just think everything needs to be heard. If Hammond gets, the stadium, which is down flat, and thank God I won't be on this council, but this is it, for me to play the ball. But, you're gonna have to establish something, because it's gonna be like the Wild Wild West here in our city, because we one of the closest besides white to be able to do, they're gonna be, doing, Airbnbs and renting out for weeks on end. And it's gonna be a lot of problems, and I'm not saying that this is a good ordinance, because I don't think it is. But I think in the long term, we need to be thinking past and for the future, because it's gonna be a mess. I mean, people, because if somebody come and they want to rent my house right now, and they want to pay $3,000 for that week, they can. But I'm just saying, you gotta have some rules and regulations, and that's the only reason why I bring it up. And I think it should go into committee, and we should be the ones that decide, and not the mayor, because we don't want this to get like one-sided and everything like that. And like I said, we shouldn't be punishing good people for keeping up their property and doing what they pay their stuff on time. So we really got to look at this. And I know you hear James, and you probably don't get that same speech you gave last time, but that's the reason why I'm bringing it up.
Councilwoman Hernandez Orange.
I again, would like to see this in committee and allow us as a council to do the legislative part of this ordinance. Yesterday, I attended, Councilwoman, Winfield's meeting. This is what we hear at every end. Properties have garbage, excessive garbage, at rental locations. We hear the word slumlords. We hear there's no parking in the areas. We hear all the Chicago plates. And it's very sad that we continuously hear that at every aspect of the city of East Chicago. On top of, if you start looking to see what properties are being sold right now in East Chicago, at one point, we didn't have a lot. Go on there and start looking to see the properties. People are starting to see that they're trying to put something together or to make sure that those landlords are doing what they're supposed to for their tenants. So that's a good and a bad thing. I agree with Councilwoman Orange in the sense of it's very disturbing to know that we have to penalize those individuals who are doing a great job. They should not have to pay an initial $400 inspection fee because of the fact that we're doing this ordinance for all the complaints that we receive of the bad landlords. So because of that, I think this also needs to go into committee. So I would like to make sure to make a secondary motion to have this put into committee so we can further define what we as a council would like to see when it comes to this.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
I would like to remind everybody that we, because in the first district, we do have many Airbnbs, and I'm sure there's Airbnbs in every district. But the state limits us on what we could do to the Airbnbs, so it's really hard to come up with something that includes Airbnbs and includes something, again, for the good landlords or the people who have like 2 flats where your family's living in there. So it's really hard to encompass everything in that. And we know, as Gilda said, in the future, we're gonna have to really look at, because we are a rental city, becoming a rental city, how that is established. And this right here, we really have to work on. And I'm glad that we need to put it in committee.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes, I think we're all in agreement that something has to be done, and something has to be done. You know, and I don't want to see the owner occupied get hurt by this, you know, and that's one thing. Anybody that takes care of their property is the owner occupied. I mean, they might have 2 or 3 units, you know, but we should be here for them. They live in the city, they pay taxes in the city. It's those absentee landlords that ruin it for everybody else. But I wish you guys would have included us in this before you brought it up, because we could have, you know, we could have nipped this in the bud and we could have all came with our input. And I think that's the message we gave you guys the last time it came. You know, it has to be done like that. It has to be done. You got to include us. But right, Jamie, if you come up, I got a question. You know, and my thing is, if you get a complaint on a slumlord, what's the process? You know, I want to know what's the process.
If there's the there's the complaint that given to our code enforcement officer. We do attend to that complaint. So we go out there, and then once we write the notice, we're going to send the notice to the owner of the property. Typically, depending on what the severity of the situation, most of our NOP letters are 30 days. And you have to do the repair. They will receive an MOB letter.
Can you explain what that is?
Notice of violation. They will receive a notice of violation. And then our code enforcement officer does a follow. If the repairs have not been made, then there are citations that are issued and it goes to the court process.
Okay, my question is, so there's no inspection process. Why don't you come up with a ordinance, say if there's a complaint like that and it's a valid complaint violation, why you don't write an ordinance, say, okay, once that violation is written up, then there's gonna be an inspection on the building. I think that would pass for no problem.
We would, if a tenant is obviously, when we do the exterior, we see anything in the hallway, but we will go on that specific apartment. But if it's like no heat, then we're like, okay, is there heat around the rest of the units? And so that's where we would have to get either the owner or the property management involved, because we would have to expand that violation, because it's not only one unit that may be affected by it.
Well, I understand it, but my thing is that once you don't come up with ordinance that, okay, you get a complaint, you go out there, it's a valid complaint, write it up, and then they have to do an inspection of the whole place. You know, and then write it in the law.
Thank you for that recommendation. If I may, can I share some changes that are in the ordinance.
Go ahead, Councilwoman.
Since we're talking about the ordinance, and at my meeting, was concerned about grass cutting. We have a project on Butternut, Columbus Drive in Butternut coming into Sunnyside. They have all the equipment, they replaced the sidewalk, all the equipment is there. Evidently not like city property. City needs to be excited about that grass, because it's equipment and grass is everywhere. Rodents coming through there. You know, the project looks like it stopped. Somebody needs to go through there and cut that grass.
Yes, you cut the grass yesterday, Councilman. It's cut. but
Where,
There, on that parcel. On Butternut Street. So it is cut, however, those machines that are there are not.
Because the
city-
machine is
city,
taking-
They're NIPSCO, right now.
right, but Lipscomb, that grass around it. is-
We were able to address.
Now,
it
you didn't move
yesterday.
you didn't move the equipment, so the grass is long, right there. So that's what I'm just saying. If they're gonna leave the equipment, somebody needs to cite Lipscomb. Everybody's Lipscomb power is going out every other day. We need to cite them to move their equipment so that grass can be cut, because it's ridiculous. So, thank you.
Councilman Bransford.
I know, good evening. I have a question as it pertains to, what Councilwoman Winfield said in regards to grass cut. Is there a standard operating procedure for city-owned, property to get grass cut on particular every so often, or is it the same standards that you hold, residents seem to come to in terms of zoning?
So most of our parcels that are city owned are on the F list, which we have, constantly come here, have vendors that are cutting the parcels. However, there can be some parcels that were recently transferred and are not in that list, and those are the ones that we have to, constantly add. Let's say we sold the property that it's no longer city. So that's where we have to, and that's where sometimes we could see that, the grass may be high or something that we didn't catch, and then it's not part of the app list, we have to have the vendor cut it.
But if it's already part of the app,
If it's part of the app list, then it's cut routinely.
okay, so if that routine, and say you get several days of rain and sun, so the grass is not only being, it's growing faster than normal, do you go and cut it in between it, or it's just on a routine?
I think it cut it every, I don't have this contract in front of me. That will be more of a question with Public Works.
Councilwoman Hernandez on.
So I could add to that. So when the contract first goes out, that's Public Works, so it actually starts off the contract as a committee to do that. We actually have contracts that say, or they do, where it's like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, where it needs to cut. And then it does state that if it's raining that day, how they're gonna be placed on, back on the schedule. So they have all that written out in the contract. I think if it's if I'm not mistaken, we appropriate those funds to do those contracts as well. You could also find them, in the work balance, it's on, I forgot what. Well, the Board of Works, yeah, so then on there, it tells you specifically how they handle the process of when it's cutting, if it's raining, where they're gonna be cut again. And the amps as well as, so the amps, parks, and I forgot what else.
So, and I figured that, but my point in saying that is obviously sometimes it goes beyond the city guidelines of the 6 inches. And someone holding and fining and, giving violations to the contractors.
Or if a contract is not,
I mean, it can be one day, because I've had several videos in which city-owned property was not cut, and it was beyond the city guideline. So I'm just trying to see how do we hold, our build accountable advanced payment. In some cases, I think.
That's actually with the new contract.
So if it fails and nobody is holding them accountable, how does that work?
So they actually has to do a payment. So the language is in the contract of what that looks like. The best person to basically answer those questions fully would be Jaylee Robbins.
Councilman Hill.
Yes, yes. Look, next to my house, 406 Vernon, I've been talking to you guys for over 6 months about this house, these weeds all over, coming all over my property. You all haven't done anything yet, front and back. So how long is it gonna take, or what is it going to take for you all either demolish that or get that forest cut down? Because it's making my property look bad. I got a nice property. So what we gonna do?
We're addressing that situation in some of the, you know, and I know it's not really part of this, but
I can actually touch it.
but we're addressing, it has a demo order. We're waiting on getting the asbestos removed from the property so that we proceed with demolition. But as far as the grass, if the weeds
Force.
hasn't been cut, I will have code enforcement. I'll find out what's happening there, but we still should be able to cut that. Okay.
Councilwoman Hernandez on.
I just want to make a secondary motion to put this into committee.
May I clarify something?
Sorry. Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilwoman Hernandez Orange, for ordinance 26-0015 in the committee. Have a roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Yes.
Ransford, Hernandez Orange,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Francisci.
Yes.
Who would it fall under?
We were gonna put that under public safety. The chair is Monica Gonzalez, Councilwoman Gonzalez. Yellow, orange.
I suggest that probably.
Thank you. Do we have any ordinances on second reading?
We have none.
Any ordinances on third
We
reading?
have none.
Do we have any resolution?
One resolution 26-0014, sponsored Councilman Terrence Hill. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of East Chicago concerning a petition for land variance to allow a 5-unit rental within R2 zoning on a property commonly known as 4733 Kennedy Avenue.
Or motion?
Make a motion, second, approve. Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Hill, seconded by Councilman Monroe, to hear resolution 26-0014. Do you have any questions on the motion? Councilman Garcia?
Is there anybody here from Sullivan to speak on this?
I was at the meeting. I was at the meeting. We all agreed on how Mr. Bill can proceed with the repairs of his property. They always in agreements of it, and that's why I would like my colleagues to vote yes, so Mr. Bill can get his necessary permits so that he can finish this property that he started on several months ago. And so on Kennedy Avenue in the area, of course, DCAB met, and they was giving him problem, but we all discussed at the meeting, and it went well, so I'm glad to pass this. 4733 from Kennedy.
Okay, I know 4733, but where, I'm saying, what building is that?
It's it's right there in the middle of a beige building. You know, it's been occupied for years, and all of a sudden, somebody else had it, and I don't know what.
It's got something sitting in.
He got a park, they'll sit in the back, got several things in the front, like I say, it's been beautiful, and all of a sudden.
Are you here to talk?
I can answer questions if you want. I'm the manager of the planning department.
Can you step up to the mic, please? Name and rank.
Tracy Hills, manager of the planning and economic development.
Okay, you tell us how the meeting went with this property.
So, yes, so, it was agreed upon, that could be a 5-unit rental, with the 4 units on the main floor to be rental units. The basement unit can be used as a non-rental for a family member. The current structure in the rear of the property is utilized as a residence for a family member, so that would remain. If he's given the option, if he'd like to change that in the future, he could come back to the BDCA and request a change.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange, Francis,
Yes.
Hernandez, Orange,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes. We have any old business? Councilman Garcia?
Yeah, I just like to thank the council and considering you. And everybody reached out, giving different bonuses. I really want to give a special thanks to Councilman Orange and for really helping me out. That's.
I'm gonna ditto that because my dad passed away and
Yeah.
it was me and Robert at the same time and this gift and a rough gift of council and attention, but thank you for everybody that reached out.
Any?
Yeah, I would like to thank my colleagues for coming out and attending the fourth district meeting yesterday. Nice. Thank you all.
No, where you want to put this, but I went to a meeting, because this is new and old. I went to a homeowners class this past weekend, that is sponsored by Redevelopment, the process of looking for, to purchase a new home. With that being said, I was actually eyes wide open when I heard residents attend these classes and they have no idea of the process of purchasing a home. And to hear what they're saying and how they're going about the process of everything, it was very sad. I was sitting next to a family that they actually have been renting and they pay over $1,800 per month. Their credit's just fine. They're Spanish speakers, but they don't know how to purchase a home. Extremely heartbreaking. So I'm glad that we actually support this initiative of helping with down payment assistance. Number one. Number two, I will be writing a letter to the redevelopment director, Frank, just to let him know some things that I noticed. One, it's important to give a Spanish class to our individuals who speak only Spanish. People next to us had no idea what the person was saying when they were trying to let them know what is needed. Myself and another individual were translating to them the whole time. So I think it's important to have classes for Spanish speakers only, as well as a book. I also would like to say that we need to do better on letting residents know what we have available to residents. Someone was saying how they didn't know that we had the check valve. They didn't know that you could do the facade, different things that we have available. We're not getting that information out. One of the people who were in the class was in Hammond, and they're looking for a place to get this. They ran into a friend who had the dollars ahead of time, so now she wants to be a resident here because we're giving this to them. So, but we need to do better in helping our own here. So that was the redevelopment class. I have also stated that I am a representative of NERC. So we had our quarterly meeting last week. In that, I was very disappointed to hear that they're actually doing a study on our brownfields in East Chicago, Hammond, Lake Station, and Gary. The reason why they're doing studies on our brownfields is because they want they want to see and make something attractive for data centers to come into our spaces. So data centers as well as other tech companies to come into our spaces. In that meeting where we have all the cities in Lake County, they stated how some of the Republican mayors or council stated how it would be good to have an ordinance or language that we could pass within our council meetings, and then eventually that be one of the steps that's not seen in the forefront to possibly pass stuff. I think this is an absolute disgrace to, one, not let our community know. I'm grateful that I was in that meeting to actually have that information. I did talk to the mayor and I said, hey, this is what's happening. Do you know what's happening? And he said, well, we don't want any data centers here. And I said, right, but they're doing studies here. And that's what's the issue. We also, all of us mentioned so many things of we don't know what's going to happen in the next 50 years. If individuals who were in our city, when they did all this industrial, knew how much it was going to affect us, that we're going to see the stuff on our cars in the morning, every morning, I don't think that they would have approved as much industrial in our area. With that being said, I wanted to bring it to our attention just so that we could not be blind that they're not looking at our brownfields. They are.
Thank you. Councilwoman Winfield.
Oh, the only thing I did forget to mention at my meeting where I was discouraged and really felt uneasy was explaining projects that's coming into the 4th district that I have actually discussed with the administration. And when I requested someone from the different departments to come to this meeting to speak to the residents, I was told that everyone was unavailable. Now, this is not the first meeting. I believe Councilwoman Gonzalez, she was giving the same response. I thought we were supposed to be here to work together, not divide. We're here for the community, not for ourselves, but for the community. When we have projects in the 4th, in my district, and I can't give them to answer the complete questions, I'm appalled. I just want to let my colleagues that didn't come to the meeting know, I was told that every department head that I requested was unavailable to attend. And I didn't put in the request.
Moving on to new business. Do we have any new business?
Yeah.
Councilman Garcia.
Can you send our city engineer letter asking for the contact from NIPSCO? I live on Parish, and I know everybody's been seeing contractors from NIPSCO up and down Parish. It's just hell. You know, they damaged my car, my truck. They're about to get a big bill, but they're up and down Parish. They ruined my grass. No consideration for the residents in the area. They up and down Parish. But we need a contact. It's a lot of questions because if you see those humongous holes and the mega line that's going on, like Councilwoman Hernandez Orange said about the health. Is there a health issue with all those electrical lines going up? Don't know. I'm pretty sure there might be something. But we need to find out what's going on, and that's probably the problem that you're losing a lot of power over in your district, and people in that area. Some people are losing it for 2 or 3 hours at a time a day, which is not good. You have a lot of elderly people that might be on a machine or something like that. But you can send that letter.
We shall.
Appreciate it. A contact for NIPSCO that's overseeing the contractors.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
I would just like to bring up, council, the letter that I had Attorney Jones sent yesterday to you all addressing, or asking the mayor. Monday. Asking the mayor to consider, giving back the $35,000 to BP. I think thank you to Councilwoman Hesper for responding. And obviously he went ahead and is having resolution being heard. But it saddens me. I know we're giving the money back, but it saddens me because I am the public safety chair, and I know this is a time that we go ahead or he works with the fire department and the police department in negotiations, and they're at a standstill. He's still not meeting with the fire department. And as far as I know, he hasn't met, he has representatives meeting with the police department, but he is not doing exactly what that resolution that he's had us pass or wanted us to pass. He's not taking those necessary steps. So it saddens me and it's very disheartening to know that our public safety is going through this and it's similar for many years. So I just wanted to point that out to council.
Thank you. Councilwoman Orange.
I think when the engineer was here before, I had asked if indeed, if they were gonna be doing something and like they, did the poles and the alleys and stuff, were you notified? Council?
Yeah.
And nobody's notified, and those things are horrible and horrendous, they look terrible, you don't even know. And they put them so close together, I don't even know what that is all about. But the engineer should really be notifying us, at least so somebody calls, you have an answer. And from my understanding, when I asked one of the guys, he said they put them all up through the whole city. I mean, somebody gotta know what's going on.
Yeah, just one thing I I talked to a couple guys and the Wazinga that's going up on Deep Road anymore. So that's what they told me. So they run on them poles up and down Parish. But those poles are rusted, they can rust color and stuff like that. But they're humongous. They're humongous, man. But they're coming in. I woke up one morning, 2 trucks on the other side of my car, 1 truck on my sidewalk in rags. No, I'm saying, yeah, the sidewalk in rags. And I went out there and said, are you guys gonna replace my grass? Are you gonna replace the sidewalk if it's cracked, you know? You know, the asphalt in this car. These are contractors that's coming in, but they're just coming in making a mess. If you go up, I'm pretty sure the name is Orange. Councilwoman knows, she sees it, they're just making a mess.
Yeah.
A mess.
Do we have any other new business?
I just to add to that, I did talk to somebody from NIPSCO and they're saying that the reason why some of the electricals are going up, but also the electrical boxes are also being changed out or adding more power to the electrical boxes because the new homes that we have going up, as well as, like you said, new construction, that all takes from the power and it's causing that issue. So, it's unanticipated extra voltage. So it would be nice to get more information and know when it's actually gonna happen. But some of those boxes have been there for years, so.
I'm reading what they say.
Do we have any public expression?
I haven't done.
A motion to
No
adjourn.
move, Mr. President.
Motion was made by Councilman Garcia, second by Councilwoman Orange. Roll call, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yeah,
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
yes.
Francisburg, Mandatory,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Franciski.
Yes, good night.
Yeah.